Hello and a very warm welcome to a sunny Donington Park for the fourth event of the 2018 MG Car Club Drayton Manor Park MG Metro Cup. The cars are getting ready in the paddock and Barry is talking to one of this year's newcomers, John Moore.
John, been a while since we caught up with you. First season in this championship, and it was Silverstone when we last saw you out. So how's it gone since?
Yeah, it's been a steep learning curve. Starting to get in the pack a little bit now. I'm starting to get my speed. Yeah, not last anymore. So it's all good. Yeah, I'm loving it in a minute.
When you say learning curve, is it learning the vehicle, learning racecraft, bit of everything?
Bit of everything. Yeah. The racecraft's the hardest one to learn, I think. I've made some changes on the car. I've got massive understeer at Rockingham, so we got rid of that hopefully. Yeah, it's just learning where to position yourself, overtaking, and all the stuff that you take for granted when you watch it. When you're actually doing it, it's loads different. So.
Donington Park, fantastic circuit. I always find the nerve-wracking bit going down Craner curves. Do you keep your foot flat or do you lift?
I'm just at the point where I've got it flat. Yeah, it takes some courage to get it. Yeah, it is good. It's my favourite track by far. It's my local track. I only live down the road, 40 minutes away. So yeah.
You might have noticed the extra 1 on the start of John's number for that one. As you can see, we have a shared grid this weekend, maximising track time for everybody and plenty of action for all of our regular runners. Jack Ashton got away at the start, the purple and white. Look for the purple and green there of Andrew Ashton running in second place. The 77 car of Shamak Klodek just ahead of the yellow peril, 999, Dan Balster. Nobody too put off by the mixed class racing of the Peter Best Insurance MG Cup runners as well. And the quickest of our drivers, Jack Ashton, who went on to secure a 4th win of the year. Good strong drive for Tom Burles. He came through in 8th position in the 65 car. But it was Jack Ashton who took the win, closing up on the points on his brother Andrew, head to standings coming here to Donington Park. Let's take a look at the overall result. The Ashtons at the head, Jack from Andrew, Shamak Klodek again on the podium in 3rd, Dan Balster in 4th from Mark Eales, Richard Garrod and David James, Tom Burles next from Tony Howe and Phil Goodwin in 10th. 11th went to Melanie Trevette from John Moore, and completing our class, Tim Shooter.
Jack, another cracking win there for you. That was quite a busy grid though, wasn't it?
It was crazy. I wasn't not sure what to think about it at the start. But I got away cleanly and everyone was pretty nice around me, and I weren't sure if I was going to catch people in braking zones, but it wasn't too bad. Got around all right, and later on in the race tyres were going off, let the other traffic go through and kept my win, and could see Andrew in the distance, just kept the gap, so it's quite a good race.
Phil, been a while since we caught up with you. Great to see you back out here at Donington. Different car, what's the story behind this?
Yeah, Steve Williams was having problems with his turbo, reliability-wise, so he had the Tom Granger's car, which was a championship-winning car, which I ran last season. So he's had that off me. Unfortunately, he's not here today, but so I built this one from scratch. It's a normal road car. Still quite a bit to do on the suspension and the engine tuning to get up with the other mid-pack range. I love the club, I love the racing. But yeah, everybody said to me, oh, it must be a bit mad to sell a championship-winning car and go backwards a few steps. But I didn't feel as if I could develop that without learning the experience and getting the knowledge to how they put together. Hopefully, by building it myself with other colleagues, I can learn more about the settings, because I believe it's those little tweaks here and there that give you that extra half a second, and that half a second moves you quite a distance up the grid.
Tom, Donington Park, fantastic weather this weekend, and not a bad race one for you.
No, got 8th, so happy with that. Yeah, just give it more hell in the second race, and it's not, well, I'm not rebuilding the car after this, so let someone else do that job and just give it hell.
Mindset-wise, when you go out there and you've got a mixed grid with the guest championship, do you just look past all the cars, whether the Drayton Manor MG Metro Cups?
You keep your eye on the first car you see in your group. And then you find a gap and you just go for that gap. The problem is, because most of the ZRs are slightly heavy, they get off the line a bit slower, so you can give it more stick and get past them. But then the problem is you get to a straight and they go straight past you. It's a bit annoying really, but yeah.
Tom lining up in 6th position on the grid. And that's the class position, I hasten to say. That's 21st overall. 35 runners here, sharing with the Peter Best Insurance MG Cup runners. And our pole position man, Jack Ashton, the inside of row 2. Shamak Glodek on the outside of row 3, second in the Drayton Manor Park runners. Third in class, Andrew Ashton. Dan Balster in yellow is fourth. Away we go. No time to say anymore. It's a super start by Jack Ashton in purple and white. Watch for Jack, very quick off the line. That was somewhere between a perfect start and a jump start. I think it was a perfect start by him, though. Shamak to the outside line, trying to keep him in sight. Dan Balster is in third place. Shamak Glodek in second. Purple and white, just to the left of shot inside the 77 number, is the race leader. It's going to be difficult over the course of the race with multi-class racing to make sure you don't get cars from other classes between yourself and the people that you're dicing with. Absolutely key that. Mark Eales is there in the 44, challenging the blue MGB GT of James Darby. He's got the 100 Metro behind. It's Chris Hughes. He's in the invitation class, not part of the point scoring for the Drayton Manor Park runners. And this is a really good example of how you can get stuck into the other classes. So what can Mark do? This is heading up in towards Coppice. You can see the uphill run, positioning himself on the inside line of the MGB GT. First four as they were. Mark Eales running in fifth place. Chris Hughes, as we said, in the invitation class. And that red Metro scything through the field is former champion Mike Williams, who's running in the Peter Best Insurance class from the back of the grid. And he's absolutely flying at the moment. Shamak second in black, the black 77. Dan Balster is third. And then Andrew Ashton currently running in fourth place. So we've got second, third and fourth all together. A batch of three cars just trying to look and see where Mark Eales is, the next runner. So across the line they go onto lap 2. And it's Jack Ashton who's looking for another win here. Jack second on the points, but I reckon on drop scores will be leading the championship because he has had a retirement, which was the second race at Rockingham. Jack Ashton, you might remember that. And although Andrew Ashton has been more consistent in terms of finishing every race on the podium, he gets punished on the drop scores rule. So on drop scores, oh, and that's Tony Howe in yellow pulling up. Tony Howe in the number 7 car. Only his fifth start of the year. Missed Brands Hatch with us and now retires sadly onto the grass. That's a shame, losing one of our runners. So Tony Howe, the first retirement, we hope the only retirement of the race, as second, third and fourth still very much all together. Jack Ashton still leading the way in purple and white, but now the others have got a clear run at him. We've got the top four together on track. Shamak Glodek in second place in 77. Shamak fourth in the championship. Mark Eales is currently third. The Ashtons first and second. Andrew from Jack on the total points scored as they go across the line once again. And I reckon we've seen Richard Garrard move into fifth place in the championship because he will have passed Dick Trevette, who's not racing with us this weekend. But that's my maths, all subject to official confirmation, of course. So down into the Craner curves they go once again. It was interesting to hear John Moore's perspective about how he's learning the tracks as well as the car, of course, and now getting to take the Craners flat out. Balster still in third place. There is Tom Burles having a dice with Rod Oakenfold in his MGB GT. So the Metros are finding their own space on circuit, and so too are the MGB GTs. Here are the two of the drivers Barry spoke to. Coincidentally, the two drivers who have had to change numbers for this one, because we've got Craig Bayston running in the 72, which we normally see John Moore racing in, and Phil Goodwin, normally number 3. That's Kaylee Twigger in the Rover 220 Tomcat, and he's running as car number 31, Phil Goodwin. But now we've got all four in a train, the four leaders, and it's Jack Ashton still the leader. Shamak Glodek looking for the lead. Dan Balster is third, and Dan makes the move round to the outside line. This is going to be brave, could leave the door open for Andrew Ashton to come through on the inside line, but Dan Bowster feels he's got to make the move outside of Shamek Glodek. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Brave stuff here. He's very nearly there on momentum. Slots back in the 97 car of Andrew Ashton. Pings back into 4th place. So the top 4 as they were. Here is Tom Burles. 8th position, race number 1. Best this season, 6th at Brands Hatch. And getting better results this year than he did last season. Battle still on for lead place. As you watch the 2 drivers with the changed numbers and that new car, Phil Goodwin. Hats off to Phil for building a new car. It brings a new car into the mix for the championship, which is absolutely spot on. And of course, as he said, he's learning about the building of the car, the engineering and the setup, rather than buying a tried and tested car. I'm probably getting maybe frustrated from time to time, but also when things go right, of course, you get an extra amount of fun developing the car along the way. Race leaders coming back to us once again. That's Mike Williams making progress. Shamek looks to the outside line as they come into the Roberts chicane. Looks for the outside line. Mike Williams goes through. 3rd position is now Andrew Ashton in purple and green. So he's managed to pick off Dan Bowster. Where is Dan? Still there in yellow. We'll look back. He's actually got a car between himself and the other podium fighters at the moment. And it's actually the 72 car of Craig Baston who is in between them. And Andrew Ashton now all over the back of Shamek and busy looking for 2nd place in class. As we drop a few places back, there's Mel Trevette, 11th position in race number 1. And we'll have more for you after the break. So still leading the race is Jack Ashton. Shamek Glodek in 2nd position. Then it's Andrew Ashton. Dan Bowster there as well. Dan racing hard. Dial 999, you get him. Goes across the line on the Wheatcroft straight. Tom Burles still in the mix as well. Having a little bit of a lonely race of it. And still MGBGT hunting. So around the outside line of the 99, Ian Dowler, GZR, goes the race leader. This is to try and just pull away from the chasing runners. Shamek's going to come through as well, and he's on the outside line going into the old hairpin. Thinks better of that. Slots back in, and now he's got Andrew Ashton right alongside him. Andrew looking to the outside line. There is Richard Garrard, I mentioned. Now, by my maths, up into 5th place in the championship. Passes Dick Trevette in the championship standings. Dick not with us this year. And Shamek passed through on the outside line goes Andrew Ashton. It's an Ashton's 1-2 again, as it was in race number 1 for the moment at least. Jack Ashton's got the breathing space, and now Dan Bowster looks round the outside line of Craig Baston and senses that he might be able to have a nibble at Shamek as well. So we've still got the 3 cars together, just watching if Dan can get that move cleared. It's Jack Ashton still out front. Jack having a good race, and how key is it to get one of those faster class cars between yourself and the other runners? Dan Bowster having to work extra hard to deal with those. Here is Tim Shooter in the number 4. Again, a driver who's improved on his results from last year. Best last year, 14th place at Alton Park, and his lowest finish this year is a 14th at Rockham. All the others have been better than that, so it's made terrific progress throughout the course of the season. There is David Javes. David 8th in the championship at the moment, crosses the line. I think we've seen most of our runners at some time or another in the coverage thus far. Outside line there on Dale Reed in his MGZR is Phil Goodwin, and the new car seemingly behaving itself pretty well, and Melanie Trevette up ahead of Phil at the moment. And just to put the perspective on things, we've got Tom Burles ahead of Mel and Phil, and then David Javes up ahead of them as well. But back to the race leader, Jack Ashton, still got that little bit of a cushion. Then it's Andrew Ashton from Shamak Glodek, who is there and 4th position in the championship. I reckon on drop scores might be 3rd ahead of Mark Eales. Shamak in the 77 car, having a look now around the outside line. We'll come back to points in a minute because he's doing a damn well last here and looking around the outside line. Wasn't quite on for him, but he took a wide line in. That might afford him a bit more momentum down through Hollywood and into the Crater curves. Let's see whether that does indeed work out. Is he getting close to the 2nd place car in front? Maybe a tad, but not enough to put the challenge on. Shamak closing in as they go into the old hairpin, but look at the confident sweep of the 97 car of Andrew Ashton, again past the stricken Tony Howe car. We've also lost Mark Eales from the race, so that might bring Mark, paradoxically, back into 3rd place in the standings, because he was on a drop score of 12 points. But Mark's retirement effectively means he'll only drop a single point. Tom Burl's still there, having a lonely old time of it at the moment. It's the 65 car, but on for some solid points. He's running in 7th place at the moment. Blue flags being shown to Tim Shooter in the number 4. Dutifully moves across. Through goes Andrew Ashton, still in lead position. Jack Ashton 2nd. Shamak dropping back a little bit. There's a gap back to Dan Balster, still in 4th place. Richard Garrard is running in 5th position at the moment. So across the line we go again. Shamak's actually got the fastest lap of the race on lap 7, a 1:26.432, and I think that's a career first for him. The fastest laps this year. Jack Ashton has had 3, Dick Trevette's had 1, Andrew Ashton's had 2. All of Jack Ashton's fastest laps were the first 3 races of the year. So Jack having clearly speed and a little bit of momentum at the start of the year. And Shamak Glodek gets it all wrong going down through the old hairpin, a slight mistake. Loses a lot of speed. Dan Balster will see that. Is Dan going to catch up with him? On board here from John Moore, who pulls up. John Moore, sadly, is out of the race. That's a shame. So the 172 car is out of the race, and by my reckoning, that's his first ever retirement in the championship. So he's done well getting to round 7 of this year's championship. Back with Melanie Trevette, who retired from race number 1 of the year, but has been running ever so well since then. And the leader's getting stuck in here. Andrew Ashton still all over the back, this time of Ian Dowler in the 99, and 2 cars between him and his brother. Across the line they go again, and Dan Balster is up into 3rd place. So Balster up onto a potential podium again. His results for this year will be podium bookends, because he had 2nd place at Silverstone in round 1. And if he can hang on for 3rd place, and there's no reason to suppose he won't, still got Shamak in 4th with the fastest lap. Nobody's managed to depose him on that one at the moment. Andrew Ashton getting stuck into traffic and probably feeling a little bit frustrated. Andrew's best time, a 1:26.6. Jack Ashton's best time so far, a 1:26.5. Both of those on lap 7. Tom Burles running in 7th place. His best lap on lap 5, a 1:32.038. And Shamak, is he pulling off? He's on the grass. He does not look happy, having lost that 3rd position. Almost paying a visit there to Tony Howe. So Tom Burles still running. We've lost 4 cars in this race so far. Tony Howe, Mark Eales, Tim Shooter and John Moore. So David James is running in 6th place. David having finished 7th in race number 1. Best result so far this year. A 4th position for him. And Dan's Autos Racing treble 9 car still running well. Here is the race leader though, Jack Ashton. Got a comfortable lead. He got away in the early stages, got caught over the sort of mid-distance by Shamak, who was originally here running in 2nd place but still in 4th place. He is a little way down from Dan Balster. But Jack Ashton, the race leader. There's Phil Goodwin. Phil in 9th place and has been passed now. Tom Burles in the 65, trying to hunt down David James. Melanie Trevette will be his nearest campaigner. David James in the 96 crosses the line again. And there is Richard Garrard in the 49 car, running in 5th place. But it's Jack Ashton who is still the race leader. Comes into the chicane once again. And now he's got a bit of clear space. Might try and just focus on perhaps getting the fastest lap. And as you can see, time running out. So he's on to the last 1.9 miles of this one. You can see the 2nd place car, purple and green, of Andrew Ashton. Nips down on the inside line of Dale Reed. So it looks like a battle here. 31 car is Phil Goodwin, passed by our 3rd place driver Dan Balster at the moment. And things looking relatively settled. It was an interesting midpoint of the race, certainly a fascinating start between everybody. Once again, there is David James in 96, running in 6th position. Melanie Trevette in 8th. Back with our race leader, Jack Ashton. Shamak Lodek is going to have the, I think, consolation of the fastest lap of the race, because Jack Ashton's lap not getting purple sectors at the moment to match the purple livery on the car. So I think Shamak's fastest lap is probably safe. But it's Jack Ashton who will come through and bag a 5th win of the year. 2nd position will be Andrew Ashton, who maintains a 100% record on the podium. There's the checker, right of shot, and it is Jack Ashton who wins. Andrew Ashton 2nd, 4 seconds down. Dan Balster should be there for 3rd place. We wait for the yellow car. Here it is. Dan Balster's 2nd podium of the year in the treble 9. And a good gritty drive from Dan. He was happy to go out on the outside line to try and make passes, and he's rewarded with 3rd place. Shamak Glodek is going to take 4th, and here's the result. Andrew Ashton 2nd behind his brother Jack. Dan Balster 3rd. Shamak 4th, Richard Garrett, David James. Tom Burles next, then Melanie Trevette. And Phil Goodwin in 9th place, completing our finishes. Shamak getting the fastest lap.
Good race win there. Seemed even closer than race 1, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I decided to let a couple of cars go, obviously quicker. It hindered me big time, probably bad decision. They were holding me up, and then I could see Shemek, Dan and my brother Andrew getting right at the back of me. So it's just a case of, right, just be aggressive here and get past a couple of cars. Did that and pulled the gap and managed to lead, so happy.
Andrew, fantastic race. Very busy one for you there, and Shamak was on your case for a while and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, it was an amazing race, absolutely amazing. With me, Jack, Shemek and Dan battling, that was some of those points. There was 3 wide going across the line once, and we were separated by not only a couple of tenths for most of that race. It was, yeah, that was awesome. That was right up there. That was right up there with one of the better ones, definitely.
Dan, fantastic race there, especially that battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to take me out after the 2 Ashton boys. They can drive. I've tried my best to keep up with them. I couldn't do it. There's obviously a lot of back mark and a lot of traffic. But at one point I saw a Metro up in the gravel up there with a bit of green on. I thought, oh, that's Andrew pulled off. I'm 2nd here. Nearly wet myself and then realised it hadn't. But yeah, been a great day. First time here, so hopefully do better next season.
Well done, Dan Balster. 2nd place, Andrew Ashton. Double winner, Jack Ashton. We'll catch up with you again in September from Alton Park.